Have you played any of these games? No, of course you didn't, because I'm the only one on Earth who did. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Anepsayan, and today I'm talking about games that only I played. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. So, first off, have you heard of Street Skater for the PS1? I'm willing to bet that you haven't, because your parents probably had the good sense to buy you a Tony Hawk game instead. Now, you look at Street Skater and probably think that it's a Tony Hawk knockoff, but to be fair to it, it did release like a full year before the Pro Skater series, so I kind of give it a pass in that regard. However, that does not excuse it from being the shallow, clunky, and awkward mess that it is. Just grinding on a rail in this game was about as complicated as pulling off like a 360 no-scope in COD, and if it wasn't for the fact that it had this kind of cool soundtrack and this really cheesy announcer, it wouldn't have any redeeming factors at all. Moving on, we have Eve of Extinction, a third-person action game on the PS2 that somehow avoided being sued into oblivion by George Lucas, even though it featured lightsabers. In all honesty, Eve of Extinction wasn't that bad. I mean, the combat was a bit repetitive, the story was kind of stupid and featured plot points like the main character's girlfriend's essence being trapped in his weapon, which, I don't know. But it's one of those B-tier games that you have a lot of fun with because you're too young to know any better, and here I am, a grown man 23 years later talking about it. Last up we have MDK, which I know this video is about games that only I played, but if you were to tell me that MDK didn't actually exist and it was some fever dream that I made up, I would 100% believe you. Boiled down to its most basic description, MDK is like a third-person action game. Other than that, I can't tell you a thing about it, other than I think you're stopping some kind of like alien invasion. Everything about it is bizarre. The main character has a really pointy head for some reason. The environments are absolute nightmare fuel. There's a sidekick dog that has 2 extra limbs for some reason. And do you see why I start to believe that this game didn't actually exist? Anyway, have you played any of these? Because I've never actually met anyone in real life who has, so I'd love to know your thoughts.